Welcome to the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by CR Gutters. I'm Galen,
I'm Joe.
and we're coming to you from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, we're back, and thanks for continuing to watch. We're coming from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington, brought to you by CR Gutters. We're lucky to have our next guest kind of complete our Valor family, Mick Credere, founder of Valor Marketing. Mick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mick Credere. I helped start Valor Marketing. There was a group of us that kind of got it off the ground together. I came from, in a roundabout way, via the Marine Corps into the business world, and in a roundabout way came into digital marketing through the defense industry. So that's how it
It's kind of all related.
kind of all got related. The marketing came from marketing in the defense sector.
Nice.
Nice. So, being that you were in the Marine Corps, what is a couple of things that you learned while being in the Marine Corps that has brought you into business that you've implemented into business?
So this is kind of a controversial answer to that, and I say that with a lot of love in my heart for the Marine Corps. But I learned a lot about how not to treat people. In the military, something that people who are civilians don't really understand is there's this dynamic of people of higher ranking and lower ranking. That sometimes that robs you of a knowledge base because someone's higher ranking than someone, and they automatically can tell that other person what to do without looking at the experience or the knowledge that person has. And so if you don't let that go, a lot of times what could have saved your butt, someone's experience or someone's knowledge, something that could help you in a situation, the Marine Corps or the military in general can sometimes rob you of that because you don't know that, hey, this kid that is you might outrank, but dude, he went to college and he's a mathematician and he knows how to do certain things that you would never even know. So I learned to look deeper into who it is that's around you and to leverage what they know and to acknowledge what they know, because sometimes just acknowledging that is important to how people feel about themselves and how they feel about you as a leader.
Nice. So, what are some of your lessons learned being an early entrepreneur? You mentioned via the U.S. Marine Corps, you had your kind of track into business and kind of back and forth through that. As an early entrepreneur, what are some lessons?
So I say be brutal with the truth. And don't be afraid of it. Lean into it. I think in business, people tiptoe around things that are frustrating and irritating to me. So I try to be brutal with the truth. I'll disclose my margin to a client. I want our clients to know our margin for reasons and how that impacts their business so that they can narrow down what it costs to create a customer on their end. But it kind of almost grosses me out a little bit when business owners tiptoe around things that they shouldn't be tiptoeing around with, or that they're afraid to tell people. It's business. Don't be afraid of the truth. Lean into the truth, because it really does set you free, especially as it relates to business. And it creates a level of trust between you and your customer, or you and your client. Just tell them. There's nothing wrong with that. It's business. If you're not making money, well, you're not going to be in business anyway.
So, like a good example of that is I like to tell people their baby's ugly, meaning if they have a website and it's just atrocious and it's not working and it's not going to give them a return, then respectfully tell them, like, hey, these are things that I would change in regards to your website so that you have a better conversion rate.
Yeah. Especially in our world, there are certain things that if you tiptoe around or don't tell a client, that's going to end up costing the client some money. So tell them the truth. Also, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, just as a side note.
Right on. So what are what's the best piece of advice you've been given as being a business owner?
Number one, don't do debt. If you can at all avoid it, don't do debt. I'm not talking about debt for expenditures like things like trucks or equipment. I'm talking about if you have to go into a massive amount of debt to start your business, then do you own your business or does that bank own your business or that investor own your business? And so it takes away some of your freedom in making decisions. The small to medium sized business market segment represents the greatest opportunity in America today, I believe. Sorry, this is kind of a 4-part answer. Third, this goes to my previous answer about truth. Sometimes the customer isn't right. I don't ascribe to that. And if you can't tell the customer when something's wrong, then they probably shouldn't be your customer in the first place. You're setting yourself up to fail. You're setting the customer up to fail. Sometimes the customer's not always right. And then I it kind of in to tap into that. I don't. The most valuable thing to my company is not my customers. The most valuable thing to my company is the people that I'm surrounded with that are really good at what they do. My people are my most valuable thing. So
That's
those
kind
are
of what Cindy said in a previous podcast, that kind of the important 2 factors in a business is 1, pay her vendors, and then 2, pay your employees. Because if you without employees, you can't pay your vendors.
Right.
right.
And a lot of times when we talk to clients, it's kind of sobering to them, our approach to marketing, where we're so educational on what they should know. Like a common thing we come across is companies hiring marketing companies, and they'll say, "Oh, okay, I spend $1,000, $2,000 a month. What does that go to?" And we've sat in the room with people who don't know what that money goes to,
They have no clue.
and it's scary. So that's what we like to hang our hat on.
So with being that you're a nerdy guy, I'm going to throw that in there. You're the head nerd.
Yep.
And you really get nerded out on SEO. Can you explain what SEO is and how it impacts a business?
So what I really liked about the previous guest is he talked about, putting your name on the hat that you're good at and getting people that are good at what they do. So in our company, there's many different things that go into a well-rounded digital marketing campaign. And when we first started Valor, I was trying to be everything. And I wasn't passionate about everything. I was passionate about SEO because there's a lot that goes into it. There are so many different moving parts and pieces. And then with Google changing their algorithm constantly, you really, in order to be good at that, you have to be good at that one thing. So we have people that specialize in pay-per-click, and we have people that do online display, and we've got people that do geofencing and all that other stuff. I'm sorry, it's about SEO. What was the question?
Why is SEO important for marketing?
Oh, why is SEO? Well, it's SEO represents the opportunity for a business to really settle their marketing budget. So if they are looking for a way to create customers that have a fixed cost over time, SEO represents the greatest opportunity because you can keep that price the same, but grow the number of phone calls or grow the amount of traffic that's going to your website for that same singular price if you're doing it in a correct format or with a good SEO company.
So what are a couple of tips you would give people about SEO? 1, when they're either looking for an SEO company, or 2, that you could share with them that someone could implement on their own?
It's funny. I was just talking to one of our clients that didn't realize he hadn't dealt with a bad SEO company. We were cleaning up the mess on my way over here. So 1, get references. Trust no one as it relates to SEO. Trust no one. Get references. Get proof. But then some quick points. 1, have a website that you have back-end access to, or you can get back-end access to. If you don't have that, someone who says they can do SEO is probably full of what.
So what are some of those websites you can't do it for?
The free ones, Wix, Squarespace, they're not going to give you back-end access. Don't do that. If you're dealing with a company that says, I own your website, and they can't do SEO, well, then you're kind of stuck. If at all possible, make sure that website's built in WordPress. For some reason, I still can't really honestly tell someone a straight answer. I have my suspicions, but for some reason, Google loves WordPress. It's a lot easier to do SEO on a WordPress website. I think because WordPress is basically built in a system that Google already understands, so they know where everything's at the second they get it into that back end or they start crawling it. So if at all possible, use that CMS or content management system. Google loves it. Claim your local listings and don't get caught paying someone for your local listings. I think Galen and I once talked to someone who was paying $1,200 a month for
Just for Google
listings.
listings, Bing, Yahoo, Yelp, literally $1,200 a month for maybe like 30 directories.
which takes 20 minutes to claim. And he literally built a whole entire company based on screwing people over by claiming their listings, which let's say it took him an hour to do, and then he charged him $1,200 a month, which is, crazy. So make sure that you claim your local listings and build the basics into your website. You don't have to be an SEO genius. You don't need to know how all the stuff that goes into a never ending, algorithm change and all that stuff. But like things like a sitemap, tag your pictures, tell Google who you are, what you do, what areas you service. So, and by Google, I mean put that on your website because that will alert Google to what you do. And if you're in certain industries, like you're a dry cleaner, you don't need to be paying someone to do SEO. Those are what we call hyper localized. Don't get caught. It's with SEO, it's almost as important to know what not to do or what not to get roped into as it is to know what to do, because there's so many pitfalls with this particular form of marketing.
Are there any sort of websites people could refer to for help with SEO, like Moz or?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest groups that I follow and that our whole team follows as it relates to the 68 people that help us with SEO is Moz. But also, Google it. If you have a question, just go put your question into Google and you'll get an answer. It's pretty interesting. Google has on YouTube some what to look for in a good SEO company.
So since you're the kind of the head nerd for SEO, what are you most proud of that makes us different from other SEO providers in the marketplace?
I think it's going to sound really crazy, but I love our brutality. We are brutal. We do not go into this with any other goal than to win. We only work with one, sometimes two clients per market, per industry, because we don't believe that if you're doing SEO for this guy and then his competition down the street and the other guy's competition down the street, that you can really be winning for everyone. There's only 10 organic positions on the first page of Google. And that goes to our methodology and our mindset of being brutal about it. If you're our client, our goal is to put our foot on your competition's throat, and we don't shy away from that. So I'm really proud of that mentality of we're going to win or we're not going to do it.
And that refers to the Marine Corps, correct?
Yeah, that's when I was a brand new young Marine, we used to go to these sand pits to do hand-to-hand combat drills, and our instructors used to scream at us, you're not winning if you don't taste blood in your mouth. Even if you're on top of the guy, you're still not winning unless you taste blood in your mouth. And so I kind of bring that mentality, that fight to win mentality from that. That's one of those things I'll never forget that affects everything I do even today.
And as a company, we even hang our hat on the style of reporting we do for SEO compared to other marketing companies with weekly and monthly reporting.
Yeah, our reporting isn't just built around telling you the good stuff. SEO is a never-ending battle. We tell our clients when we get into it, like, hey, the first 6 months are not the best. It's the most terrible business opportunity you can present to someone. Hey, pay me for 6 months. And then at the end of 6 months, after you paid all of that money, then you'll start to finally get some phone calls. But even after you're winning, you still have to fight to keep winning. And so in our reporting, we tell our clients, we have good arrows for, hey, this is where we moved you up, but we also have the red arrows. So we report on the good and the bad, because you're not always, it's always a fight. You're always, it's 3 steps forward for 2 steps back. And we want our clients to know.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks to Adam earlier. Thanks to Mick now. Thank you for your service. Happy Marine Corps birthday too on the 10th, right, of November?
That was the 10th.
All right. So never forget that one. So our next episodes, we'll have a couple more veteran-owned businesses as our guests. Thanks for watching. Thanks to CR Gutters and then BD Local Studios in Tacoma. I'm Galen. He's
Joe.
Joe. See you again. Thanks for watching, guys.